once again, I think the word liaison is a key term. You're a liaison to the decision makers. You're a liaison to end users. You had a question in there that was important. Do you take? Are you responsible? Are you in charge of it? I think it's kind of one of those modern way of working concepts where you're responsible, but you're not. You manage through influence and not through authority.
So you cannot decide at the end of the day. You can just be. You're
a facilitator.
Yeah.
Okay, which is I think the most beautiful word one of the most beautiful words in the English language. If you look at the French word that's in there, or the Italian word facile or facile, a facilitator is somebody who makes a complicated, chaotic process easier. Mm-hmm. Does that mean that you can bang on the table and say, I'm the business analyst and you will do what I say? No.
Yes.
No, that's not the situation. And I think some of the business analysts that might be listening might say, what the hell is this guy talking about? He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Like I said, I'm trying to look at the big picture of business analysis and not just one part of the thing. You know, some of them say, "Oh no, I'm a requirements engineer," or I do some basic reporting. I think the big issue that we have with projects is ownership, and there's so much ownership to go around that a single project manager seldomly has the capacity to be able to do that.
Okay. So if the skill set is not necessarily understanding the trend and knowing on what innovations are there, well,
that was one part of your question, yeah.
Yeah. So it's more on, but at minimum, it's to have strong communication skills.
So I didn't answer that. So because there's so much part of that, but that's a great part of the question. In a perfect situation, if you're a senior business analyst, but this is also a challenge that I think is going to be a little bit weird. Some people say, "Oh, I want to be a business analyst, and I want to be a senior business analyst, and I want to be a senior vice president for business." Yeah. This is the phenomenon about it. Business analysis is often assistance. You know, you can, and I will say this. I mean, I've been doing projects for over 30 years now. I don't have a problem with that lowly position because I know what value it brings. I don't feel like, oh, it's beneath me or that I'm overqualified because I know how much value it brings. I think a lot of the business analysts that will be hired as business analysts are those classical high potentials, right? Okay. So young people who believe in some of the things that they learned in university and want to apply them, right? And not just didn't go in here and out here. Who want to be in the fray, they want to be close, they want to be able to, you know, cross borders and talk to all sorts of different levels. But at the end of the day, a lot of business analysts, sorry for those of you who are senior, who say, oh, I'm not like that, are going to be young, dynamic, high potentials. They don't have a lot to say. So to go back to your question, will they understand the market? They might not have the seniority to understand the full breadth of all the dynamic factors, but they need to develop the skill sets, the tools also business analysts give you to ask the questions, to go to the product manager or the product owner and ask them the questions. Yeah. So this is the beautiful thing about business analysts and also project managers and scrum masters is you don't have to know everything. You just have to be intelligent enough to ask the right people the right questions and be consequent with the information you get. And I think that's ultimately what business analysts are about. They don't know everything, but they're resilient. They don't take no for an answer. They ask the right questions. They ask follow-up questions.
They're integrators, as you said.
They're integrators. Yeah. They'll talk to anybody. And they don't claim to be the experts, but they say, listen, if I ask 5 experts, I get a big picture that they might be lacking.
So maybe that's a nice difference to a project managers, because from my understanding now, business analysts can proactively go to their stakeholders and asking questions and moving around in organizations and supporting projects and so on. On the other hand, a project manager is normally not proactively starting a project. It's, we have a great idea, get it done.
Yeah.
Cool.